congratulations on this brand new album. It's an absolutely sensational album, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. It means a lot to hear that. We put a lot of work into it.
So, mate, tell us a little bit about this album. Did you guys have a goal in mind when you first sat down to start working on this album?
Yeah, we did. The thing is that what we like to call our style of music is we call it story metal, and both of our albums, both the first one and this one, has been concept albums actually. So there's a concept to this album, a story to this album. So we had in mind that we wanted to do a relation. And a concept of relations, different kind of relations. When we started working on it, we had so many songs that were close to that subject, and we thought that we need to do this, and we had the outline of the combined story for it. So we started to write, and soon that also made us to go and look for our second singer, Ollie Violet. We needed, on our first album, it was just our male singer, Olof, who was singing. But for this album, we needed two voices. We needed a male and a female voice, so that's why we joined her to the band.
So how did you come up with that concept of the relationship? Was there something fueling that? Like you said, there was a lot of tracks that you had written around that topic, but was there something happening in your own lives at that time that made you want to explore that concept of a relationship?
What we do is like we always base the songs on real life experiences and true stories, and it was like we sat down and we talked about the album, and we had a couple of different concepts actually that we wanted to do. But when we started to look through the material and talk about this, we thought, oh no, it can only be in this way. So the main thing was that we was a bit tired of the black or white portrays of relations that often are in music and in different kind of media. Either there's a very dark side, bad relation, or a very good one, and we tried to show the different shades of gray that a real relation actually are built upon.
Yep.
So we wanted to do that. So we started to think that, okay, how can we show this? What kind of bricks do we need to build this story? What part do we need? How should it end? How should it start? What's the milestones for these relations? And then we kind of built it from there.
You mentioned about having to bring in another artist as well for the female voice. Was that a difficult journey trying to find the right person to join the band?
Yeah, it was. First thing, it was during the pandemic, so we couldn't have normal auditions, so we have to do the auditions online. And the fun thing is what we thought that, okay, let's do this. It cannot be that many applicants but we got overwhelmed with the responses when we put out. I think that we got like 60 replies or something like that, and then we soon started to weed out this, and then there was just a couple left. And we had a really long audition. We sent files back and forth, and we kind of forced her to do almost our whole catalog of songs. So yeah, it was a very long and hard thing, but we really think that we did an excellent choice. She was totally right for us.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned about recording during the pandemic. Did that change the way that you actually had to record the album as well?
Yes. Most of this is recorded during the pandemic, where we didn't have the ability to go down to our normal studio and meet our producer in person. So we had to rely on our home studios to record many parts of it. And it was our producer who put it together and sent mixes like crazy, and we got a lot of redos. You know, the small things when you are recording in a studio. The producer often just pushes the talk back and say, "Oh well, you can do better than that." Now you have sent that file away and you get that back. No, do better. Okay, yeah. So it took some more time, but actually I think that was a good thing, because then the music had more time to grow on. It was a very different experience actually, because you had time to listen to the old recordings that you sent away to the producer, and often when you get that back, and when Izzy, our producer, says like, "Oh well, you can do a better solo here," you have already found out that I know I can do that better. So it's I think that was a good thing actually. Not anything was good with the pandemic thing, but that was one of the things, because the creation process got to is actually created its own time, more time, because not a single thing is stressed out. It's we got the time to produce the songs correctly.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned before, and one of the things I love about you guys is the storytelling aspect of your songwriting. And we have some brilliant artists here in Australia who know how to write a song with a story. But I noticed that these days, in a lot of modern music, we seem to be losing that art form of storytelling in songwriting. Is that something that you notice a lot with modern day music, that we seem to be losing that art of storytelling?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Modern music is so shallow and so vague, and it doesn't tell you anything. It's becoming, it's just a product of a shelf. It's much more into the appearances and well, there's no core left, and I hate that. We need to go back to the roots, to the songs, to do this. I mean, one of the things that we try to do to counter this is that, and that many of our critics tell us that, but you pressure, you don't have a unified sound. You know, when you put on like an AC/DC song, you can hear from the first three chords, oh, well, this is AC/DC. You cannot do that with pressure, because we write our lyrics first, and then we choose the kind of style of music that best tells the story. So one song can be a thrash metal song, and then next one can be a hair metal song, and next one can be a plain funk rock song, and so we choose the style according to the story, and not the other way around. And that's why we actually there's a lot of diversity into the album as well. There's a lot of different styles to it. So I would like to challenge today's artists and today modern music much more to go back and try to tell you something. I mean, it's fantastic when you can connect to any artist that you really feel that, okay, they have been through this, they know what they are speaking about or singing about.
Definitely. Simon, that's one of the things I love about your music, is how diverse it is, which kind of leads into my next question. What are you guys going to do next? We're out of the pandemic now. Are you guys looking to do shows, or are you already starting to work on the next album?
Both, actually. We have already started with our shows a bit, because we are trying to go out and play the album as much as possible out. We are booking here in Sweden now, so we'll see and try to go abroad as well. And the other thing that we try to do is like we write a lot of songs. We have a back catalog that isn't released yet, so we are looking for doing another album. Absolutely. I don't have. We're very early in that process, but we have a lot of songs that are in a draft mode actually right now, and it can be everything. We have talked about exploring a lot of new styles, so we'll see.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait to see where that leads to. But for now, Simon, what would you like to say to everybody out there before they go out and take a listen to this amazing new album?
One of the most important things I think for the music scenes to survive right now is support your local bands. The local scene is very important, and there's a lot of hardworking musicians out there trying to get by, doing local shows, small things, not getting that kind of money for them, but they put on a show, and it's often much more intense and real than the big ones, even if the big ones have much more better sound and well, so the thing is that support your local bands, go to local shows, rock out, and just experience it. It's a good old rock show or a metal show shall not and will not be fully experienced through a computer or through a couple of headphones. It has to be loud. You have to be standing, yelling, jumping. I mean, what is a metal show for a sitting audience?
Definitely. Well,